half of a fortress around us here, don't we? These like brick fortress. You're not going to get into me. Um, this is passively kind of like sitting back and seeing, where do I go from here? What direction do I take? Surrounding my happiness. This is your happiness. Look at how freaking happy she is. That's not happy. Can we see this? Let me turn this on, make sure you can see. Yeah, she's not happy. This crone with her 9 of swords, she's miserable. This is where we're headed for. So decisions need to be made. Decisions need to be made. Can I get some messages, Spirit, for what really needs to come through that is most important for the group of people who are struggling the most with their decision? What does this decision have to do with, or what does it have to do with? Queen of Cups. So this is emotions, obviously. This is something that you are very sure of in your emotions, something that you care very deeply about. This is probably something, I'm going to assume, that has been a long time coming. This is not a new emotional experience that you are going through. It's too many cards. Too many cards. What is this Queen of Cups? She looks a little bit concerned there, doesn't she? She doesn't even look like she's very happy with her situation. What is this Queen of Cups concerned with? Definitely coming into your own, understanding this is how I am feeling. I'm going to take a look at these. Okay, so this is 7 of Cups. There's been a lot of options, a lot of illusions around you, and the 9 of Wands, a lot of lessons you've been learning. There are many options that are around you. There are many options that are around you, and all of these cards tell me that you have known of this option for a while. What is this option around? What are these options around, Spirit? What are these choices that need to be made? There's a judgment that is coming in from Spirit now. It's like Spirit has taken over, the Divine has taken over, and a judgment needs to be made here. A betrayal. So more deceit. Illusions, deceit, 10 of Pentacles. You're at the end of a cycle with something very, I'm going to say earth-based. A job. This could be a home situation. Pentacles are home situations as well. This is the end of the party, right? We open our presents at the end of the party. So this is kind of seeing what we've gotten. These are all of the lessons that we've learned through this life journey. And what have we gotten in the end of this? What have we gotten in the end of this, Spirit? Temperance. So we've been patient. 8 of Swords. Moved with very logical in our thoughts. Maybe too much so. 8 of Swords speaks of not really knowing where to go. She's kind of stuck here in this field of swords. She knows that there are outs, but she's also blindfolded, and while these spaces are considerably large enough for her to get out of, you know that there are swords there, and no one wants to walk into a sword, right? And she perhaps has been sitting here stuck in these swords for so long that she's definitely gotten older, right? All of these lessons have been going on for a while. Temperance looks like it is something new that you have been learning. This is a skill that has maybe not been a strong suit, but we're really coming into our own. This also, again, speaks to the Divine taking over. We have 2 cards here that, for me, are the Divine taking over. This full moon here is illumination around things that have maybe been under the surface, things that haven't been fully brought to light. Maybe you are aware of them, but you haven't let this be known to a lot of people. Maybe just a few people know, maybe nobody knows. Maybe this is just a feeling. No, I'm not even going to say this isn't a feeling of something changing. You know what this is. You know what this is. This has been going on for a long time. What else can you tell me about this lesson? So as cold as she feels, she's definitely kind of taken her own here. She's finding her own warmth. She's following her own light here. So we go from the 10 of Pentacles here to really stepping into our own, right? Not needing a lot around us, understanding that we are being guided by something else, looking into the fire. This card makes me feel very much the way that I tend to feel with meditating and doing the fire gazing. I don't know if you've heard of fire gazing, but it's a somewhat popular thing, staring into a candle or a fire that you have outside and meditating into it, kind of looking beyond it and looking for messages. So I feel like she has kind of graduated from whatever it is that was going on here, this end of this cycle, and going out on her own here. Leaving a bad situation. There's a lot of fighting. Yep. Following the guidance of her light, the cloak type thing that she has here, this looks very earthy even, this tree. This is very self-loving. She's nurturing herself. She's built this throne, or this divinely given throne, was growing in the middle of nothing. It's a blizzard out. It's the middle of winter. Nothing is growing, but there's this throne magically there for her, and this cloak and this fire. It's all very divine and self-granted, and she's finding comfort in herself, reflecting into the fire to spirit. Where do I go from here? Where have I been? That sort of thing. Leaving a bad situation, a lot of conflict. Where are we heading? Two of Cups. So, any more from you, Spirit? Two of Cups. And the Moon. I am going to go on a limb and say for most people this is probably something that is somewhat relationship based. I'm not saying it has to be a romantic relationship. Do I even want to say that yet? So this is a new beginning, a new emotional beginning. It is something that there were secrets around this. Something was hidden. But there's illumination coming to it, and there's this fresh start. Hangman is getting a new perspective. This is all new beginnings. We're heading into new. This situation that you have been in is a cycle that is closing out. You're walking away from all this conflict. This is icky. Self-love, closing out that cycle. We've learned all of these lessons, whatever your lessons were particularly. I don't get a clear definition of what is your particular cycle. I feel very much like this is staying very general, which is a good thing. I want this to resonate with more people than a select few. And I know that when things tend to come out relationship-y, people can tune out, and I don't blame you. If you're in a relationship, you don't want to hear the love stuff all day. So I'm not saying that this is geared towards love. I don't see more of one sign over the other. This is very, very general. So, one thing that I did just notice in this Eight of Swords, she's feeling very trapped here, but we have the Sun here, which I had said, these are illumination. This is spirit for me. This is divine guidance. And if you look off here, you can see that if she could get a glimpse of the Sun being heavy in this direction, knowing that it's there, and follow that illumination, follow the guidance, there is a path through these swords that leads her back to, I would presume, home. I would assume this is where she's trying to get this home. And I don't see home as necessarily her home, but home as in that home feeling that you're looking for, that connected feeling that felt like it was so much lacking when I tuned in. The divine is there guiding you towards home. If you could just get a glimpse of that joy, hold on to that feeling of that joy and follow it. Everything that resonates with that feeling is bringing you closer to home. Everything that takes away from that feeling and puts you more up in your head is distracting you from where you're supposed to be going. Please, if you take nothing else out of this, take that away. Please take that away. Spirit, are there any other messages that need to come out for the Divine Feminine Collective? Anything else that I need to relay? Any advice? Any advice.